Hey friends, so if I'm sending this to you, you are a friend, and I thought that the information that I shared during my talk at Dutch Clojure Days would be interesting. I'll probably give like another version of this talk at some point, but as all good talks do, it will probably change. And it kind of has this kind of documents about a lot of life changes I went through. So it thought it'd be interesting. So, got a guru. This is the talk this is the talk abstract that I submitted. Do you have a mentor? You definitely should. I'm going to give you an architect's diagram of how to start a mentorship program at your company. Why did I submit this abstract? Because honestly, I wanted an excuse to look into mentorship because I feel like it's been super instrumental in my life. However, by the time I got to the fourth time I rewrote this talk, I realized that I had two choices. I could get on stage and lie to my friends, or I could just put this nice slide up and say, hey, sorry, I found out everything I was trying to peddle you is a lie and I was wrong, and apologize and, give anybody the opportunity. If you showed up for an architectural diagram of how to implement a mentorship program, I'm sorry. You can go ahead and leave now if you want. So, got a guru? I realized I didn't. I think that I had friendship and mentorship confused. Friendship is not mentorship. And I have friends that I would call mentors. So I started thinking about why do people engage in mentorship? Well, according to Indeed.com, we want things like increased knowledge, personal growth, goal setting, constructive criticism, new perspective. All these things are why we try to engage in these relationships. We see the value in this. Let me tell you my story. So I'm a few years into the game by now, and I've seen my fair share of Clojure script startups. You know, the classic game, AWS, Clojure script, reframe, and I'm yearning for learning. I'm uninspired and feeling tired, and I was searching for more, and I wanted to level up my skills. So I created this plan: how to reach coder enlightenment. I was yearning for learning. I figured I will get a job with excellent people, learn from the best, and I'll learn from them, and I will be the best coder ever. Foolproof, right? So, first step, find smart people. I hit up my friend Ray and said, hey, what's up at Vouch? I've been doing reframe for a while. I hear Mike Fikes and David Nolan are over there. What's up? I got a new job there. And what I hate to tell you is, as awesome as Mike Fikes and David are, they're just some normal dudes. The real secret sauce at Vouch is the teamwork and how everybody works together and the culture that we formed. But this isn't a talk about Vouch. So for the millionth time in my career, I was sent this blog article. And what is this blog article? It's you'll hear it referenced as the glue article. It's a cautionary tale of glue, where a woman who is glue at her company talks about the different paths that a software engineer has if they do glue work. So what is glue work? So being glue is when we all know that engineering team success isn't just about like showing up and churning out code, right? And that never happens. There is a lot of people skills and essential skills that are necessary for a successful project. What are some of these things? Writing documentation, noticing somebody's blocked and setting up team meetings, establishing coding standards and best practices, and okay, let's indent here. Doing CI/CD, writing some tests, doing things to improve team processes. Like, hey, I think the retro would be better if we, moved it to this time. Taking on mentoring and coaching. When somebody starts there, are they just dropped into a Slack? Who's helping them learn the ropes? And a lot of times, these are leadership skills that typically we expect out of our management. But sometimes this glue work falls to juniors who don't get properly recognized. So even though you're doing like the highest impact work at this point, you're acting in a leadership capacity and you're getting glowing feedback, everybody loves you, it's not engineering work. And what oftentimes happens is you're told, when it's time to give promotion, you helped facilitate this process. And in doing all of this glue work, you stop coding. And one of the things they say in this talk over and over again is that we learn most of our skills while on the job. So if you spend your time, organizing meetings and onboarding people, and you're spending less and less time doing technical work and gaining technical skills. So who gets promoted? The person that you helped unblock because you noticed they were blocked and you, got them in contact with the right person. Who's getting, so a lot of times you get passed up for promotions and you're told that you don't have sufficient impact yet because it's really hard to measure this type of work in a quantifiable way. So I got sent this article over and over and over again, still resonates. I could probably recite it by heart by now. And this is my reaction. I'm like, you're going to change the world because I love doing it. I'm going to be promoted for it, right? Well, wait, I'm going to be thanked for it, right? And this is kind of the process I went through. Like, wait, am I glue? I am glue. And you know what? I like it. I enjoy it thoroughly. And then to realize that that's career limiting, or it could be, is horrible. So I'm like, all right, I know. I better hurry up and pick a path forward. I know what to do. So somebody recommended to me this test. It's called the Clifton Strengths Test. StrengthsFinder 2.0. I'm like, who am I? What do I want to do when I grow up? Took the test. Bam. Popped back with all the things I need to know to be a proper leader. So my top 3 strengths came back as positivity. No surprise there. Strategic thinking. Love doing that. And 3, communication. Is anybody shocked by this? I don't think so. So I'm like, all right, now that I know who I am, and these are, it kind of puts all your strengths in a little matrix there. I led with strategic thinking themes. So I'm like, all right, introspection unlocked. I know who I am. Part 1 done. So then I'm like, well, what do I want to do when I grow up? I know what I'll do. And I identified what I thought were the 3 paths forward for myself. The Glue article mentions this as well, that what often happens to this engineer is that then they're told, oh, are you sure you don't want to be a product manager? But they're a great engineer. The only reason they haven't upped their technical skills is because they've been busy picking up the slack. So I wanted to look into product or project management. Do I want to pursue a management role? I could also, and the Glue article brings this up too, I could pursue a coder, like an engineering individual contributor path, or I could go into software architecture, which is a kind of architecting the system and really considering all the moves. So what I did is I identified people with these paths. Actually, I identified 4 different people at my at Vouch that kind of represented these paths to me. And I just interviewed them. I asked them questions what's their current title? What's their past title? And then really dug into what do you actually do day to day? Down to the time partitioning. How when are you in meetings? How often do you get to spend time thinking? Hammock time, Lucidchart, Notion, coding, making PRs, reviewing PRs. I also asked them a little bit about character strengths and, if they felt that their title allowed for growth. And everybody I talked to had more than a decade in the industry, if not more. So I got the answers, got some really great, interesting insights. But everybody basically, there were some things that just came out as everybody agreed on. Everybody agrees vanity metrics are bullshit. Titles don't really matter. All that really matters is to reliably set expectations and then deliver. I mean, that's what Albert Einstein said, right? So the person that kind of their answers resonated the most with me about what they spend their time doing was our chief architect. And the reason that it stuck out to me is the way that he uses tools for thought. Everybody else said that they use visual design tools as a communication method after the fact. But he says that he uses these like Lucidchart as the mechanism for thinking. And that really resonated with me. So I asked him, will you be my guru? Can I go under your wing and apprentice with you to learn how to do software architecture? Awesome. Yearning for learning completed. Get job with excellent people completed. And now I have asked, I'm going to be a architect apprentice. I'm going to learn from the best and be the best coder ever. I'm going to achieve my dreams. So I don't know if y'all have heard, there was this Hurricane Ian that came through. That's where I live. That's the hurricane. So I was out for a week. Lost power, internet, all that good stuff. And when I came back to the announcement that our head architect, Christoph, whose wing I was supposed to be under, had announced that he would be transitioning roles to research and development, R&D, to get back on the keyboard because he missed all that coding time. This was so great. What's funny is when I started asking him how he spent his time and started having these one-on-ones and talking with him, he realized that he wasn't super satisfied with the answer. He saw me take the initiative to decide what I want and then action on it, and he did the same. So that is so inspiring. I am so happy for you. But okay, wait a minute. Wasn't I supposed to be under your wing? My bird has now flown away. I now find out birds aren't real. Oh God. Oh no. I was distraught, to say the least. So I am running around kind of doing some low impact glue work, reflecting at the time. And I get every engineer's worst nightmare. I get hit up by a manager. So, question for you: have you completely stopped doing development work? Because I know you're looking transition, but I don't know. Your title still says software engineer, and I'm just checking in. Just checking in. How you doing? That was fun. And so I actually worked with this manager who is super great. And we realized that it wasn't super great optics to have the title software engineer, but then not really be doing much engineering. But we agreed that my work was super high impact. And what do I want to do? I wanted to help developers. I wanted to help facilitate communication. I wanted to help leadership understand developers, and I wanted to help developers understand leadership. So, objectively, I wasn't being a super great software engineer. Remember that whole article? One of the whole points that she said is get a title that matches up with your role. So, myself and this manager sat down and we put into Google, engineer, developer, good at communication, understanding people. And what is developer? What's DevRel? Oh, I had heard this term around and I didn't know what it meant. And it finally clicked for me. And so this is the definition that resonates for me the most. Developer relations is a role that's the marriage of engineering, marketing, and product. And the objective of the role really depends on the maturity of the product and its users. There is a whole philosophy on how to roadmap and how to do the job and how to measure how to write your OKRs and all that good stuff. So, wait a minute though. This is a cutout from that Glue article. The Glue lady said that I need a title or no one's going to respect me. Because it's true. If you want to continue doing a lot of glue work, that's fine. But the minute a woman puts some sort of manager next to her name, she loses all technical credibility. So, damn, I'm still in this position where I need to choose a title. I even had one more moment of vanity where I went and I asked, like, can I be head of developer relations or leadership developer relations? And I realized that, like, if I actually want to help developers, then, like, any leadership quantifier pretty much directly undermines my effort. So how do I do my job then? I'm trying to launch this program. I need to reliably set expectations and then deliver. How do I do that? Well, I figured I can just ask. I put up a survey and I am checking in with people about what would be the most helpful thing for me to do to help them. So I'm still faced with this issue of needing a better title because I'm not doing a ton of software engineering, even though I am doing engineering. And well, since titles don't matter and I get to choose my own, I choose to identify as an associate strategic social engineer specialist. In short, asses. I still have engineer in my title. Associate and specialist pretty much cancel each other out. And I do feel the words that strategic social engineer really describes what I'm good at. So, got a guru. Did I have a guru? No. But what I found out is you don't necessarily need one. I also found out there's this thing called like narcissistic spirituality that, like, if anybody's promising to enlighten you and like be your guru and teach you everything, they're probably not actually going to be able to deliver on that. So all of these things, all of these reasons, so why bother to get a mentor in the first place? Like we still want all of these things, right? Well, what I found is I have a hypothesis that all of these can be achieved by gaining self-awareness. Ooh, self-awareness, what's that? Well, I've discovered there are two axes of self-awareness, and they are not necessarily correlated, although you would think they are. So when I started off that journey, I was yearning for learning, looking for something more. I didn't quite like know who I was, what I stood for, or really just anything. I felt stuck and I was frustrated just shuffling from startup to startup. So as I discovered more and I took that Clifton Strengths, I became very introspective. I became clear on who I was, but I was kind of working independently and I wasn't challenging my own views or searching for blind spots. And as my manager mentioned, the optics just weren't great. So when I asked to, apprentice and get a guru, I basically just decided to become an architect overnight because I related to a colleague. What even is that? I was so focused on appearing a certain way to others, and I overlooked what mattered to me and what I actually wanted to do. And I almost made a choice that wasn't going to be fulfilling for me. So it's kind of lucky that my bird flew away. Now I have reached the pinnacle of true self-awareness. I know who I am, what I want to accomplish, and I am trying my best to seek out and value others' opinions and get feedback from others. And what I've realized is this is not a process that is finished. I am probably just going to cycle over and over through this for a long time. Yay. So, do you have a guru? No. But unfortunately, if you want self-awareness, there really isn't an easy way. Nobody can give you self-awareness. You just have to do the work. You can do it in any order you want, and you can even have somebody work with you to do it, but nobody can give you that. So next time on Lessons with Lambda, we will understand how to move from self-awareness to self-improvement and self-management. So much fun. Not fun. I 0 out of 10 do not recommend self-awareness, but there's no putting the genie back in the bottle now. So this is the part in the talk where I facilitate conversation about what resonated. But this was all from memory. I gave this talk like a month ago. I am a couple months into this position now, and I'm finding a lot of fulfillment in doing it. It's a little hard to kind of be able to measure whether I'm achieving my goals, but I am doing the best that I can by listening to feedback from people, trying to action on that, trying to measure whether I'm solving their problems or not. And I'm finding that the role isn't just advocating for developers. It's also advocating for product managers, advocating for leadership. It's really just being the glue. And I'm happy with that. I don't think that we should, I really think as a society, we should change our opinion of what is valuable in a project to be more inclusive of glue work. It is its own full-time job. And when we try to burden engineers with it, it doesn't work. That's why most documentation sucks. When we try to overburden managers with it, it also doesn't work because they just don't have the perspective of engineers and they have a timeline to follow. But yeah, okay. Hopefully this is good. This is probably longer than expected. Thanks. Bye.